Welcome back to the Takeout. Several key Republican senators share some of Elon Musk's concerns that the budget bill now before them will drive up the deficit in the future over the next 10 years. They're also pushing for other changes to this legislation. Someone who's very interested in that conversation is our next guest, House Majority Whip Tom Emmer. He joins me now from Capitol Hill. Tom, it's great to have you with us. Thank you. I know you're jumping out of your shoes, eager to talk about the Elon Musk-Donald Trump confrontation. We're going to set that aside for just a second, because I know you're bullish on this bill. I know you think it's going to have positive economic effects for the country, but I just want to run a couple of numbers by you and ask for your interpretation of them. So this is not a CBO number. This is a Penn, University of Penn, Wharton School of Finance or School of Business budget model. And it says if you're an American making $22,000 or less, the House bill, which you're an advocate for, will reduce your income over the next 10 years by $1,500. If you make more than $5 million, it will increase your revenue by $104,000. Why distributionally is that a good idea for America?
Well, wait, you're assuming that those poor kids at Wharton are actually doing the math correctly. You tell me, Garrett, how they can say the tax policy that's been in place for 7 years that is not changing, it's simply being renewed and made permanent. How is that going to change people's position? And by the way, when you add no taxes on tips and you add no taxes on overtime, that's going to cost people money? No, that's actually going to increase wages and take home for working men and women in this country. So I don't know what they're doing over at Wharton, but I don't accept that at all. Maybe we should get some of them over here so we can walk them through what the numbers are.
I'm sure they'll appreciate the invitation. The Congressional Budget Office says that under the policy that they reviewed in the House-passed bill, up to 11 million Americans, either through the Affordable Care Act changes or Medicaid, will lose coverage. Ross Vogt, head of OMB, says no one in America will lose coverage. No one or 11 million. Is it somewhere in between?
Yeah, no one's going to lose coverage except for, where I would disagree with Russ, is 1.4 million illegal aliens are no longer going to be on Medicaid. And I think Americans, regardless of their political persuasion, agree with that. Everyone else, no one was kicked off, Garrett. Major, sorry.
You do that all the time, Tom, but I always forgive you.
I know. I'm sorry. Too many hits to the head. Nobody's going to be kicked off. Under the Biden administration, they stopped checking verification. They stopped verifying eligibility. I suppose if there are people who are not eligible for Medicaid who have been receiving it, they won't receive it because they're not supposed to be on the program. And then we have these very modest work requirements. Someone has to, an able-bodied, working-age single adult without dependents will have to work looking for a job or being trained for a job 20 hours a week or volunteer 20 hours a week or be in school full-time, or they aren't going to be eligible. I think it's pretty reasonable. And by the way, that means that no one is losing their coverage that is supposed to have coverage. Unless it's by their choice and or you're an illegal alien, then you will not be covered by Medicaid.
Tom, I want to play for you a soundbite from an interview that my colleague Maurice Dubois did with the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. And Hakeem Jeffries, who I know you're an enormous fan of, was describing what he regards as a civil war within the Republican Party. Please listen.
What we see right now is a Republican civil war. Elon Musk is attacking the GOP tax scam, this reckless budget that's going to hurt everyday Americans. House Republicans are attacking Senate Republicans. Senate Republicans are attacking House Republicans.
Tom, is that what's happening?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's really interesting to hear that from my friend Hakeem Jeffries, because the Civil War is actually in my grandfather's Democrat Party. I mean, you got the progressives, the Marxists, the socialists attacking the swing seat members. You've got DNC vice chairs who are bringing primaries against longstanding governing type Democrats. It's pretty wild over there. So it's pretty interesting to hear Hakeem try to take the civil war that he is not going to be able to manage on his side and try to equate that to what's happening on the Republican side. The Republican side has never been more unified. Donald Trump is doing exactly what 77 million people elected him to do. And look, Republicans are great at having debate, but as you've seen in the House, Major, when it comes time to get the job done, we get the job done, and we'll keep doing it.
What about Trump and Elon Musk? It really blew up today and got very personal, very quickly, pretty nasty. Musk talking about Trump and the Epstein files, Trump talking about canceling federal contracts with Musk companies. How do you read all that?
Well, that's between the president and Elon. Here's what I know. Elon disagrees with the bill. President Trump is the guy I agree with. This is a great bill, and I've already told you why. This is going to be the greatest deficit reduction bill in the history of this country. It is going to prevent the largest tax increase in this country. And those young people over at Wharton may want to look, because in my district, if we have a $4.5 trillion tax increase because we don't get this thing done, the average family is going to have a almost 20% increase in their taxes, Major. This is going to seal the southern border. It provides money for defense. I agree with the president that the big, beautiful bill is a great bill for America, and it's going to kick off his golden age that he campaigned on and that he's assured the American people they are going to experience.
Tom, what are the conversations you and House Republican leaders having with Senate Republicans about changes that are coming? Can the House conference accept those changes, and will all this get done by January 4th?
Well, I'm not going to get into specific conversations.
4th, forgive me, July 4th.
I don't do that. But I'm not going to tell you I talked to this person or that person. I'll let other people do that. I'll tell you, the one conversation, one of the conversations that I may have had was more about what's going to happen in the House. And do you expect we're just going to take whatever you send us? My answer was no. I expect you're going to make some changes. Hopefully, you're going to keep those changes modest, because if you do anything dramatic, then we might have a problem. But I expect that they will do the things that they think are important. I think they will leave the structure of the bill intact, and they will send it back with the savings that are in it and the changes that they make. And then we're going to pass it and get it to the president's desk. Yes, on or before July 4th.
Tom Emmer, the House Majority Whip from Minnesota. Tom, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. You're always welcome here in the studio.
Thank you, Major.